you want another mince pie?
I've had 4.
Do you want another one?
Yeah.
Me too. Sherry?
I say you got any more sherry?
Yeah, sherry? Yeah.
Better do this Christmas thing, beer thing.
All right. Oh, we tend to like beer again.
Hang on a minute, fuck, we're recording.
Shit. I'll get a bit. What do you want?
Just Verdant. Merry Christmas, everyone! Hello,
Merry Christmas!
And welcome to the Planet Beer TV Christmas drink along.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's kind of a drink along. I mean,
/ end of year review.
yeah, it's basically our year in review. I need to get this tinsel off. It's itching.
That's good because you look like a party vicar on his day off.
So anyway, thank you for joining us to our little Christmas drink along. We're going to look back at the year that we've had, some of the places and people that we've met. It's been a good year for us, really.
It's been our first proper year, I'd say. So we've achieved loads. And we've visited some really interesting breweries, drank some amazing beers, done some really cool stuff, and really tried to kick off the channel. So 2023 has really been the first Planet Beer TV full year, really. So
yeah. So we'll look at that,
Yep.
and then we'll do a little beer of the year thing, a beers of the year for us.
Mm-hmm.
What are we drinking at the moment? Light bulb.
It's just a classic light bulb. So yeah,
After all that sherry,
we have been paling the QC pretty hard. So light bulb. So we looked back at our Untapped, worked out what our favourite beers were, pulled out 3.
and then I suppose we'll also come on to plans for the future as well.
Oh yeah.
What have we got in store for next year? Because we have a lot of stuff lined up and it's going to be lots of fun. Stick around for that. I suppose let's kick off with the beginning of the year. It's always good to start with January. January was our big it's the first time we actually planned it like a military operation. So we managed to secure Verdant in November, and we went down to Verdant with Ollie from Bruiser, and we got plenty of content down there. Spoke to James, Billy, Tim. It was great.
It's our first big video.
Yeah. And we decided basically to edit the content there with a mind to releasing it throughout January, making sure we were hitting scheduled release windows, I guess, to make January a lot less boring. And I think we hoped, because we did throw a bit of money at that one as well, in terms of like making sure that we're filming it the right way.
Trying to make an impact, yeah.
We wanted to make sure we were setting the bar quite high for ourselves. And the idea was, I suppose, that the payoff would be it hit nicely and we got lots of subscribers from it and viewing hours, which thankfully happened.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ridiculous, like you should see the stats, the spike in January when it kind of gone.
We were going from a standing start there, really. We had no traction behind us whatsoever. We had very little in the way of subscribers or viewership. We'd done a few videos the year before, but nothing to sing and dance about, really.
No.
So I think that first video for us was when you said, look, if we're doing this, our sort of USP has to be high production values, it has to be edited well, we have to use all the right kit, make sure it's like done like a proper film set. So that was eye-opening for me a little bit, because when we rocked down there with some of our buddies in tow, were going to help us film loads of equipment, and we set it up, like Chris said, like a military operation, and I think that surprised Verdant somewhat as well, because we hadn't just rocked up with a couple of little iPhones and filming on the fly. So I think that made a good impression, and I think hopefully if you've seen it, you think the quality was good as well.
I'd say that what I've found since, if we're going through to look back at what I've learned, it's that the quality doesn't necessarily have to be that good all the time for everything, because I just don't have time to kind of make it like that. I don't have the time or the money to make it like that all the time. B, it doesn't really matter. Like there's a big element of it where, starting the YouTube game, I thought there was a shortcut to being successful at it, in the sense of just, if you make professional looking content, that it will work and you'll hit the ground running and whatever. And I think what I found actually is, no, there's no shortcut, there's no substitute for time.
Yep.
time spent doing it. And I think a lot of the successful beer YouTubers out there, whether it's the craft beer channel or even some of the beer reviewers out there, they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
think craft beer channel in 10 years, pretty
10
much.
years this year, yeah. So, yeah, essentially there's no shortcut. And I think learning that was kind of a liberating thing for me, in the sense of knowing, oh shit, I don't have to stick to these really strict kind of rules that I've kind of put on myself to do with like filmmaking. I can actually just make something. Doesn't matter if the shot's sometimes out of focus.
It's easy to get fixated on detail and quality when actually, as you say, most things can be salvaged and rescued. So,
Yeah.
So,
And that's how I'm not a perfectionist anymore.
yeah, good. Yeah, I've noticed. Things have got quite slack recently.
I mean, that is the thing I suppose we've moved into now. We've moved into being much more nimble. We've learned to self-shoot. And that's kind of helps us keep the costs down of running it. And also just means that we can just be more flexible in terms of only me and you need to be available, rather than trying to schedule in other people. Because it can be like herding cats, just trying to get you and a brewery and, you know, whatever in the same room. Because we don't actually hang out in real life. We don't know each other. We were put together by shady marketing executives at Google.
Very cynical. Also, that you made that sound like you can't get me in a room with breweries.
Yeah,
unless things kick off massively. Every time he's in a room with a brewer, fights kick off. So that was January. What happened next?
So yeah, I think we then started to explore other kind of avenues that we could do, in terms of not just hitting breweries every time, but also some of the more regular content that we could get out. So for instance, like our Crafty Fives, which ironically we haven't done much of in the end, but we did the Trad Dad beer video.
We've had a lot of ideas that we've thrown out there just to see if they stick, and then had other ideas which we got more excited about. So that happened. So we'll revisit a lot of things like that, I think.
But I think that the aim with this channel has always been to approach it from an enthusiast level. It's like, I think the market is well and truly covered in terms of
knowledgeable people
in beer, and you know, your home brewers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't need to feel like I've got imposter syndrome. I'm very much an enthusiast in beer. I like drinking it.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of brewery tours, but I still don't really know how beer's made.
It's easy to get lost in the detail, I think. So yeah, I've forgotten so much stuff over the years. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of more enthused about being an enthusiast than trying to be an expert, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think that shows.
So trying to make content, I suppose, that's a bit more beginner friendly. That's kind of what we start to do with the Crafty Fives. We'll come on to more of those in 2024, I think.
Yeah. But
then in terms of breweries, we did Nothing Bound. So Nothing Bound,
yes,
absolutely slapped. You know,
that was one of my favourite videos to film, not because I already knew Dave from Nothing Bound to a degree already, but also we filmed it really quickly. We did have help from Jack, one of our buddies that day, if I remember, but it was set up super quick. We did it in one take. I think there was very little editing you had to do from the actual...
Other than the little like opening bits, reel thing.
But from the actual conversation, it was pretty much as was.
Yeah.
And that was just really great. And I think that was one of the most interesting technical conversations we've had, because it didn't go into too much detail, but it was just enough to keep, I think, most people from different sides of the fence, i.e. home brewers or enthusiasts, happy, really. So that was great. Really enjoyed that.
No,
and the beer was great that day.
Wow. Then we visited Nathan at Mosaic Board Printers.
Yep.
Trying to explore, just suppose, looking at the wider world of beer. That's another thing that we wanted to explore. Beer mats. I mean, who thought that they would be interesting?
Yep, and I got to root around in a massive bin.
Yes,
like
yes,
Gollum.
you did. Yes, yeah.
Not that Gollum was ever in bins, but I look like Gollum in there.
You definitely acted it out as Gollum.
Well, I'm a professional. That was the challenge to film, because it was basically an industrial factory with machines going off.
Yeah.
It was really windy outside, and the metal shutters were banging.
And it was our first video where I think we decided to do it as a self-shot thing.
It
was proper, like, out on location, no one holding our hands. It was kind of like, there you go, sink or swim. And I think it still worked. And obviously we made a valuable contact there in Nathan. and the guys at Mosaic, because they agreed to kind of sponsor us for the podcast, the Fancy Beer Name podcast, which came later, which was great. And hopefully, I mean, we need to catch up with Nathan at some point before the year's out, but hopefully there's some commission, would you?
We'll go begging again for money. But we'll do our due diligence here. If you're a brewery or a bottle shop or a tap room, or you just want some of your own beer mats, go direct to Mosaic board printers. Ask for Nathan, he'll do you a great job. And they're proper beer mats, full beer, not thin. They're absorbent, and they're made for that very specific reason. So.
Beer number 2, and I've got quite a snowy one here. Look at that, very festive.
Very festive. It's Never Known Fog Like It by Rivington.
More like Never Known Snow Like It.
Brilliant. This is New England Pale, 5.2%. Bit of a classic, really. Love it.
Yep.
Love Rivington.
Where were we? I think we got to about April in our little thing.
We're in April, and April to me sings April Fools.
Yes, we did the Heavenly Haze Bros launch. I've always wanted to do an April Fool's joke, and this was the perfect time to do it. So we had the idea to do the old beer shower gel, because that's completely absurd, but I think it's probably also a thing.
Yeah, New England Pale shower gel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we went all out on that and did a spoof video, which was
fun.
great.
We managed to team up with Northern Monk for that. So the idea was obviously to give it kind of a bit of credibility. We also wanted to attach a brewery to it, and we thought, well, I'll tell you who would fit this.
Who better?
Who better than Northern Monk?
The brewery of Seabrooks flavoured beer, prawn cocktail,
And Aunt Bessie's.
Aunt Bessie's, the Sunday roast beer.
So that was fun.
And all that nonsense. Ron Seal.
We gave him a call, didn't we, in our announcement video that we we're going to be doing that thing with them. We called Tim, who's the marketing and social media manager at Northern Monk.
Yeah, and he didn't answer.
He didn't answer, but I bet he'd answer now.
I bet he would. I'm going to give him a call.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've had a beer. I want to speak to Tim.
I suppose it would be interesting to see if he answers the phone.
Let's see if he answers.
Go on then.
I'm going to video
Have you
him.
got his number?
Yeah, man.
I've got it if you need it.
Got it.
Me and him are friends. Is it ringing?
Yeah.
Oh, ringing. Here we go. We're doing our first little virtual video call. Is he going to answer?
Hello?
Hey! Merry Christmas, Tim.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. What do you want? What do you want now? What?
Not disturbing you, are we?
Yes, Neely. It's 10 to 7 on a Thursday night.
So we're just doing our Christmas video, and we're just talking about the April Fool's thing we did, and you didn't answer your phone.
No, I was on holiday, away, busy, Dad, busy.
We came to see you at the end of May, but what you been up to since?
Lots of things. So it's been our 10th anniversary this year, so 10 years of Northern Monk, which has been very exciting, and we've released, as of time of recording, 9 of our 10 anniversary beers. So that's really good to see. We've done some fun beers that we did. We brought back one called Granny's Mix, which was like Russ, our co-founder, sort of one that was inspired by the juices that his grandma used to give him, and then did a collaboration with a brewery in northern Norway called Mac. Funny enough, their head brewer is a Leeds United fan, and obviously we're based in Leeds, so he jumped at the chance to collab. We didn't know until we got in touch with him, and he was like, "Yeah, well, I'll come to Leeds, yeah, absolutely." And he came over, and then our next 10th anniversary beer, so our last one is next week. Well, next week, I don't know when you're putting this out, I don't know, but it's as time recording next week. So yeah, 10 years of Northern Monk. It's been busy, but it's been good.
Obviously, as well as the stuff that we've filmed with you at the brewery, we also featured Faith in the Core Beers taste test early this year.
Yeah.
Not sure if we.
Yeah. How did that go? Yeah.
Not sure if we want to talk about that.
Well, I mean, you brought it up.
Hopefully, we can find any bridges there.
You can't show favouritism or taste, apparently. So it's fine. There was some brilliant beers in that taste test, but it's one of those things. You just have to do it again and get it right.
How are Russ and Bry doing?
Yeah, they're both good. Like I say, 10 years. So they've been busy. Brian just leading and cracking on with all our beers, and Russ and my team sort of making him scratch Brian's head with beer ideas and what we can do.
So, what are your grand plans for 2024? Any reveals?
We do have plans to open more refectories and bars. That was kind of the plan before my time, before COVID. The plan was always to open some more places. We've had, like a lot of breweries, it has been like a very challenging year. Like it's been really difficult with the rising costs of production, energy costs, continued fallout from Brexit, not being able to export like it used to. So a lot of breweries have struggled, and we've managed to sort of navigate our way through that quite well. So we're looking forward to growing quite a lot next year and into 2025 and beyond there as well. So yeah, fingers crossed at one point we'll get to Birmingham.
Well, we very much look forward to it. We'll be paying you a visit, I think.
Definitely.
Anyway, suppose we'll leave you alone now to get on with the rest of your night.
Yeah, have a great Christmas, Tim.
Merry Christmas, dude.
Bye.
Cheers. Good to see you.
Well, that was nice.
That was nice. Nice to see Tim again.
I was a little bit nervous he wouldn't answer.
He looked furious.
He didn't look happy, did he? So where did that leave us then? So Northern Monk, we had a great time.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And a shout out to Stu, who came along and filmed that for us. That was the first one where we featured some drone shots.
Oh yeah, the drone.
That was lovely. I'd like to get the drone out again one day.
Oh, that was so professional. Loved it.
So we released the Northern Monk content, and we had a summer holiday. We had about 2 months where we didn't do anything.
We just relaxed.
I think we just got busy with real lives. Real lives and real wives. We basically had a bit of a summer reset, and August we hit it hard. We got very busy. We met up with a friend called Luke, who's our podcast guy. So we got him on board for the podcast, because at this point we realised we'd received some payment, and we were contractually obliged now to start up a podcast.
To do anything to justify the money. Yeah.
So that was when we decided, we need to do something, and we got the Fancy Beer Name podcast.
We did.
I think there's 6 episodes or something now that we've done, and they're nice. I think they're nice.
Really
easy.
enjoy doing them. Yeah.
They're easy enough to do. The stuff that takes the most time is the fancy ad breaks. I don't know why I bit off more than I could chew there.
Well, I think the reality of these things, we just got to try it as much as we can out, see what sticks.
Yeah. I think also the kind of Heavenly Haze Bros shower gel gave me a taste for the kind of ridiculous and sublime.
The surreal nature of craft beer. But August was mental busy.
Yeah, because at the end of August we also did Baron and Crossover.
What a
Brewery.
weekend!
That was an awesome weekend.
It was awesome. Yeah. So that was a twofer. Yeah. We went down because they're roughly in the same place.
Yeah.
South. So we went down to that south, and we spent the Saturday with Baron.
Yep.
Which was eventful.
Mm-hmm. The full hijinks actually you can listen to in the podcast if you haven't already. I think it's episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, involving
Bumegg and Billboard Foreigner.
Yes, yeah. So Bumegg was the Baron one, and that will feature a story about Elon Musk's ex-wife, or one of his ex-wives, a cast member of Game of Thrones, and a man dressed in full lederhosen.
Yep.
Good day.
What a weekend. And yeah, Crossover was great because it was that proper Sunday morning, lovely rural tap room. It kind of big Belgian style beers on a Sunday morning. There's just something about it that's glorious.
Yeah.
And that pretty much wrapped up August. I'm referring to notes on my phone.
I can't remember what we did.
September and October, we did our first Oktoberfest video. Obviously, we were a bit late on that one, but
we were a bit late. But that was the not the introduction, but the first video we've all done together with Johnny Macro.
So we welcomed on board after the lager tasting one that we did, the Macro versus Craft Lager video, which you were seeing your parents. So
I was involved in that. Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny Macro got involved. So Johnny Macro is my compadre who I travel the country with, drinking beer and visiting old pubs. And yeah, he's got such big dick energy. Like, he's just a cool guy. And I just love having him around. And yeah, just that kind of deadpan baritone voice is just...
I'm good, thank you.
We've got more videos planned with him next year. He's become a fan favourite. Like, we've done a couple of reels where he features on Instagram and that, and it'd be nice to feature him again.
Yeah, fluent in German.
Spatten.
Then in November, we arranged to go down to Stoutzilla. Sorry, yeah.
How's the beer going down?
We've had a few. Yeah, no, that was great. That was really fun. I think after the success of the kind of putty drink along that we did in January, I kind of got this vibe that I really wanted to do drink alongs, but that offered something a little bit more than just grab a can and listen to us while you also drink it. That's got some merit to it, I think. Yeah. But I think what I really wanted to do, especially knowing that we had Verdant in November, was doing a kind of hype juice feature where you kind of have these great beers, but then you're also inserting little interview segments with the breweries themselves, or indeed, as we did with Stoutzilla and Bard, we just did it with the founder and the brewer.
Yeah.
So why not talk about it with him while you're drinking it?
Yeah.
And then December, all I got was an empty glass.
I'll make your dreams come true for Christmas.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. Let's wrap this up and go straight into our beers of the year.
Beers of the year.
Okay, so here we are now for our beers of the year. So let's. I think we've basically just gone for our top three, haven't we?
Yeah.
Top three beers, but not necessarily the best beers that you've got on your Untapped, but maybe something that's more kind of your standout beers.
Yeah.
Let's keep it interesting.
Well, which just happens to be the top beers on my own tap.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm quite generous with a good 5 and a 4.75.
You are actually. I'm not. I'm very, very strict.
I'm a very generous scorer. But yeah, so we're drinking a Kernel now.
We're drinking a classic Kernel, but this is a double IPA, which they don't do that often.
No, this is actually, to be fair, it's not on my list, but this is a standout for me because they've managed to make a double IPA that isn't ridiculously sweet.
It's brilliant. And this is the Citra Mosaic and Galaxy version at 8.4. So yeah, cheers. Don't drink it too fast to get tipsy.
So the first beer that stands out for me that I think of, it's on my list, is Focal Banger by Alchemist, because it was my first try. We tried it when we did the US versus UK beer.
Yeah, we managed to get some in.
That was my first try of it.
First try of that beer for me, but not the first try of an Alchemist beer. And actually, my first favourite beer is another one by the Alchemist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think for me, like I say, I reckon it probably would be better obviously it would be better in America and fresher and stuff like that. But I think knowing for me that it lived up to all the expectations that I had of the beer, I thought that was kind of special, because in my head I was also kind of worried that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much as the hype that I've built up in my head. Like, I'm holding a legendary beer, to then have it as a payoff as well, it's special.
I remember thinking, I can't fault this beer. I mean, literally, it was faultless. And every time I try and pick a hole in it, it's like, look, come on, it's been around for ages. Surely things have improved. And it wasn't even, as you say, it wasn't fresh. You know, it travelled overseas and probably been in the country for a good few weeks as well.
Yeah.
It was faultless. But yeah, I got Heady Topper, which is also by The Alchemist, and that is the first of my beers, and it's essentially the double version of Focal Banger. Well, not quite true. I think there's 6 hops in Heady Topper, and I think Focal Banger is 2.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm not going to be too specific.
Yeah, 8% beer, so stronger than what Chris had. But I had exactly the same reaction to that as I did to Focal Banger. We just went, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, nailed it.
Okay, and so standout beer number 2 then, Paul. What are you going for?
Well, because we're drinking the Kernel, my second beer, which I had at some point middle of the year, was by the Kernel, and it was their Imperial Brown Stout 1856.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, 10%, 10.1% I think actually. And I think Colonel have been doing quite a lot of recipes recently which go back into the archives of numerous old London breweries. And this one was from a brewery called Perkins. Actually, it was called the Barclays Perkins Brewery because it was part owned by Barclays Bank.
Oh, okay.
Interesting fact.
That is a factoid.
Yeah, and they were around in the 17th century, and I think they closed down sometime in the late 90s. But the Imperial Brown Porter is essentially the style that became the Russian Imperial Stout.
Ah, okay.
I just realised I called it a porter. Stout, sorry. It was remarkable.
Standout beer number 2 for me, kind of, I suppose, following the dark beer theme, but I'm going to go completely against where I thought I'd go, which is high ABV. And I'm going to say Verdant's Burnt House Porter.
Had to be a Verdant in there, didn't
Had to be a Verdant. No, but honestly, that beer, I had it, I think it was February. I was walking up to the Hop Vault, nice wintry evening, and first beer I saw on the cask tap, I was like, Burnt House Verdant.
So cask beer we're talking?
Cask beer. Okay. So honestly, it's the beer that kind of made me fall in love with both porter and cask again. Because very much, you know, obviously we just had silly putty season and whatnot. And
Silly putty.
I've been drinking a lot of New England hazes and all sorts.
You do like a hazy big bite?
Yeah. But I just thought, you know, the beer for this right time and place, because I think I was going to the bottle share session, so I wanted something that was a bit sessionable, dark, probably going to be different to some of the other stuff
Those
we're
bottle
drinking.
share sessions can get silly.
They can get silly. Yeah. And yeah, I had that one on cask, and I just remember thinking, fuck me, this is good. And it made me then go out and buy more porters.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I actually really like the style. I don't know why I avoid it sometimes. And also, same again with cask. That beer was absolutely banging. Hats off to James and the team at Verdant on that one, because they've absolutely nailed that traditional porter. My
Last beer, and which was a bit weird because I was looking back through Untapped and I went, I don't remember this beer at all, but I gave it 5. And then I sort of delved back into history a little bit, and it came to me. I was at a beer festival in Birmingham, a small independent beer festival, and the beer was fine. There wasn't a load of sort of really well-known craft breweries there. It was kind of micro brewery level and down. But Bianca Road were there, so Bianca Road.
I don't think I've had any of their stuff.
I don't believe I've had anything since this one, but man, I do want to try more stuff. But they were doing a peanut butter stout, and it was an imperial stout. So again, it was kind of 10-11%, somewhere around that region. And it was remarkable.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because all the rest of the beers we had were amazing. There was no real standouts up until that point, but it was genuinely remarkable. And I kind of look back into how it was made. And apparently Bianca Road are an offshoot of the now much missed Fallen Acorn.
Yes.
Who used to do massive beers, massive stouts in particular.
Again, they were a regular feature at Bottle Shares because they did a lot of 750 mils. The big kind of impies that you want to drink, and yeah, no, they're missed.
I don't know if they'd made this recipe before Fallen Acorn had closed, and then they just passed it on to Bianca Road, or it was in collaboration with some of the brewers from Fallen Acorn. I don't know the history, but it was called Black Gold Peanut Butter Stout, and there's real peanut butter in there, I understand. Oh yeah, just
whack it in.
It was like Snickers.
Oh yeah,
it was remarkable.
Sold.
So I will smash the back end out of that if I see it again.
Crikey. Okay, well, I suppose that brings it to mine then, my final beer. And I suppose as it's one of my most loved styles ever since I first took a sip of it, a New England double IPA had to feature on it, and it's going to be Baron's Knitted Baby.
Ah, yes.
Which was one that he just put fresh on when we went to visit him in August, end of August. And I think he didn't tell us at the time, and I didn't really pay much attention to the hop profile in it necessarily. But as I was drinking it, I just remember thinking, holy shit, that's fucking good. give me more. And I carried on drinking it. And then it wasn't until later on he came over and he was like, yeah, I realised that, you know, it's basically, it's an Azaka hop away from being the same as putty.
Putty, yeah.
And that's when I realised, holy shit, hold the phone, that's what it tastes like. That's what it was really reminding me of, that really kind of like dank, mango-y kind of, oh, yes.
Yeah, and we smashed a load of that, didn't we?
I had a lot. I think that was one of the things. I mean, I don't usually do lots of dippers in a row.
You did that day.
But yeah, I was just like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And that was really good.
Yeah.
I actually think, I mean, I just really hope that he does it again because it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love him to. I mean...
Should we call him?
What I think we should do...
Should we call him?
Let's bully him into doing it again.
I think we could get... what time is it? He's still going to be working.
He works all hours.
He's still going to be working. Let's get him on.
Go for it.
Oh, what was his number again? You got WhatsApp on this?
Oh, hello.
Hey! Jack. Merry Christmas, Jack.
Hello, mate.
Merry
Hope we're not
Christmas.
interrupting anything important.
Oh, yeah, I'm always in the middle of something very, very important, but I've got time. Time for you two.
Hey, so we're just talking about our beers of the year, and one of mine is one that we had at yours when we came to visit, and it was Knitted Baby. So basically, this is just me calling up to say, knit that baby again.
The perfect beer. No, it was pretty good. I was chuffed with that, and I'm normally quite unchuffed.
You should put a Zaka in it and call it Putty Baby.
I'm not sure I could take on Verdant in the courts. I'm not sure I've got the
They won't mind, they're fine. What are your plans for next year, and can we come?
You're very welcome to come over. I have no big plans, really. Make some nice beers and see how the first few months go. But yeah, January is always a bit of a scary time. So yeah, no, there's no big, maybe some big, really big beers. I do quite fancy doing some really strong stuff.
Well, I guess that's what you've got your bum egg tank for now.
Bum egg, yeah. The bum egg, which is known colloquially now.
It's funny actually, because in terms of views, you and Nothing Bound, like two fairly like up and coming breweries, are actually like our best performing. And I think it kind of shows, we were just chatting about it, it kind of shows that people want to see the smaller and up and coming breweries.
Good. Well, I think I would certainly 3 or 4 years ago, I wanted to see videos from people who are working in little breweries. Because, yeah, it's not a massive stretch for anyone who homebrews to do this sort of thing. Whereas it's quite a stretch to be the next Cloudwater when that's quite a big. So, doing something on this scale is great. And yeah, me and Dave clearly have the two best breweries. That's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. Saying the quote pass out loud there, Jack.
Exactly. Yeah. So what are you doing for Christmas then?
You're hanging out on the farm.
Hanging out on the farm. Yeah, just doing the standard family sort of stuff for Christmas. We're doing taprooms all through December. So every weekend from now, and in the gooch between Christmas and New Year.
The gooch.
So we're 4 days in the gooch. We're
4 days in the gooch.
having it.
Oh, please make that the name of your new Impy Stout.
4 days in the gooch. Well, friends of mine know that I have a tattoo. I only have one tattoo on my body.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I'll leave it at that. That's purely for your own imagination.
You're not going to say what I think you're going to say.
I'm not going to show it to you.
On that bombshell.
Oh man, I called up asking for a knitted baby and I got a tattooed gooch. Well, Merry Christmas, dude. Have a good one.
Merry Christmas, mate.
See you later, dude.
Bye.
Bye.
Christmas.
Wow. Tattoo gooch.
Well, on that bombshell, we've cracked open another double IPA because after those sort of revelations, let's keep it big.
Tattoo
please.
gooch.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, Fear City, double IPA, 8%, Simcoe and Nelson Sauvin, and that's by one of the underrated hazy boy brewers in the UK, Pentridge.
Met the
Banging.
guys at Pentridge at Derby BeerCon in September. I think it was September. Really nice guys. Yeah, really nice to talk to. It was quite interesting because they've obviously got a background more in the trad style of brewing, and they've kind of broke out into picked up the crafty stuff.
Yeah, and
picked up the more modern styles.
They do it really, really well, especially the bigger ABV stuff.
Their birthday beers that they did this year, where they were knitting. I need to stop saying knitted
Stop
baby.
saying knitted baby, you're obsessed with it.
Where they were revisiting recipes from lockdown, the lockdown year. Excellent. Such big beers, and that's where they shine.
They did a tipper in, I think it was the back end of the year before last, so 2021. Their tipper was one of the best things I've ever drank. Seriously, it was incredible.
This next bit is about what we're up to next year. So what we've got next for you. So, plans for next year, basically same again, but bigger and better.
Yeah.
That's the plan. So we're planning on more brewery features. We've got
a hit list of cracking breweries. We've got some brilliant ones lined up already.
good hit list, and actually we're also in talks at the moment with
Some big breweries.
We're going to do more drink-alongs and taste tests. So more of those kind of like the pale ale showdown, and we might do a stout showdown.
Yeah, we definitely got to do round 2 of the UK versus the US as well.
UK versus US, another round.
And whatever happens, we've got to include more Johnny Macro.
We do need more Johnny Macro.
Yeah, we're going to drag him out as well to breweries, I think, at some point, and
so
force him to drink good quality beer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Podcast-wise, we're going to be taking the podcast on the road, the Fancy Beer Name podcast. So one of the things that's kind of come through from talking to people in the industry is that, you know, and obviously for anyone with eyes who can see it, that venues are struggling. You know, breweries are struggling, venues are struggling, and as easy as it is for us to film in our kitchens, it would also be nice to go out there, network, and do the podcast on the road, because we've got Luke now.
Yeah.
He's joined the team.
We have the team, yeah.
We can go out there and start doing bigger kind of things with that. So if you are a bottle shop and you listen to our podcast and you'd like to be involved, hit us up and we'll come out, visit you, we'll set it up, you can come on and chat to us and
promote your wares. Yeah, we've only done it once at our local one, which went down really well. Until we hit the 15.1% stouts.
the one to beyond.
Yeah, and things started going downhill pretty quick after that.
We've also got other podcasts lined up. We've got kind of like a limited series kind of one coming up, which I'm really excited about. Actually, I cannot wait to get those started. But that's probably going to release towards the tail end of the year, because we've got we need a good run in. We need to record with some people, and but that's going to be very exciting. And then also we'll be doing more collaborations. So collaborations with content creators. That we've got some exciting ones lined up, hopefully. So Cam from Beer Guide Worldwide, if you guys know him, if you haven't followed him or anything like that, if you haven't checked him out on YouTube or Instagram, great channel, gets about
a bit, that man.
We're hoping to tag along and do a bit of a road trip with him.
Yeah, road trip, baby!
And we'll be doing maybe Poland, bit of Germany, maybe a sprinkle of Czech. I mean, we haven't even spoke to him about this yet, but
he'll do it.
He'll be fine with it. And the other big collaborations are Paul. That's you. That's your cue.
What? I don't know. What?
The collaborate. That was your thing. You were supposed to get the collaboration.
Oh, you're serious?
I'm supposed to be announcing it tonight.
Oh no. I thought it was weird when you're asking me to just do a thing.
Oh, fuck off, man. Come on. Well,
sorry.
A bit of a dampener on the.
I'll sort it. I'm going to call someone.
We know where that ends. It ends up in voicemail. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining us this year, and hopefully next year we'll bring you all the wealth of good. I'd say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for watching this year. See you in 2024.
Who are you calling?
Hang on. Find out in a minute. Yeah, it's ringing. Hello?